It's City Wrestling Radio, April 7th, 2024. I'm your host, Corey Smith, being joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Jose Oseguera. How are you today, sir?
Very good. Happy WrestleMania Day to you.
It is WrestleMania Sunday, and well, WrestleMania 40 is now in the books. And well, speaking of books, Cody has now finished his story by defeating Roman Reigns in the main event.
Good for you. Good for you.
What did you think of the night two overall, Jose?
Night 2 was a success. You'll hear no harsh criticism from me. I mean, I could be nitpicky, of course, but let's just be happy for once and enjoy the show. A lot of emotional ups and downs, more ups than downs today. So I had a blast. It was a good show.
I went into night 2 with low expectations, I think, and not for every match on the card, but I think a lot of those matches, like the Vinyl Testament, the Pride, LA Knight, and AJ Styles, those kinds of matches I wasn't really looking forward to. But after I got out of night 2, I kind of like night 2 better than I like night 1,
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
So let's get right into it.
Just one word of advice or warning to Mr. Tony Khan. Looks like somebody's learned how to book a pay-per-view or a PLE. So get to work, bro.
Well, here's the thing: is like it's completely different. You know what I mean? And WWE has now found the sweet spot in between good wrestling and storytelling. Whereas, let's just be real here. Most wrestling fans aren't into wrestling for the wrestling. We're into it for this, some of the wrestling, that's cool, but it's mostly the storylines that brings most people in. You know what I mean?
Of course.
That's what gets people invested.
Yeah, we like to be brought on the ride and on the roller coaster. My whole point is that it feels like WWE now has learned how to do a proper PLE. Full of excitement and emotion, storytelling, of course, wrestling being the major part of that. So congrats. Tip of the hat for these guys.
Well, we're now in the Triple H Levesque era.
Is that what we're calling it? I guess so.
That was like the entire night. They're just kind of saying this is the Paul Triple H Levesque era. Trying to completely make people think just so you guys know, McMahon has nothing to do with this company anymore.
Yeah. Even his daughter, even though his daughter came out at the beginning, smoke and mirrors. She's married to the guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, Cody Rhodes thanking him at the end, all of this stuff. So it was kind of funny when I looked at it like that, but nonetheless, it kicked off with the band The War and Treaty performing God Bless America. And my God,
hell of a rendition.
Jesus Christ. These guys, they are going to be doing the Super Bowl. They're going to be making big money after everything. They were the most soulful thing in all of Philadelphia on a Sunday night. And that's saying a lot.
Oh, yeah, especially at a pro wrestling event.
So then we kicked it off with the first match of the night, Drew McIntyre. So the first match of the night, we saw Drew McIntyre defeating Seth Rollins to win the World Heavyweight Championship. After that, Damian Priest cashes in to, defeat Drew to win the world title. So technically 2 separate title changes in one night. What did you think of this match? Also, what did you think of Damian Priest cashing in, Jose?
A little bit surprised that this was the opener. I wasn't expecting that. So glad that it was. It was a solid match wrestling wise. It was very solid storyline wise, and that little added extra surprise. Even though we knew it was coming, you never know. You never know. It was a really cool surprise, and it just, I have in my notes, Priest. So happy this turned out the way it did. Really cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. The match itself, I mean, it was a good match from start to finish. It was super exciting. It's also good to see that title change hands, because ever since Seth has been given that title, well, it wasn't given to him, but won the tournament. Ever since he won it in a tournament, it hasn't changed hands. So
almost a year.
To see it change hands twice in one night is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It makes you think that anything could happen at any time. Also, Drew finally got his moment in front of 73,000 or 72,000 and
Mhm.
taken away from him very quickly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, the really cool moment before I mean, we're gonna get to it, but is when he held the belt in front of, Punk's face. He was like, "Take a picture of this, I wanna put it up in my bedroom."
well, yeah, man. So it's also good to see Damian Priest win the title
Mhm.
because it's good to see them going with someone new.
Mm,
This is somebody who's never won the world title before, and they're putting their stamp saying, "Okay, let's try something new with him." You
mhm.
know, so it's good to see WWE investing in the future in the main event scene, not just lower level in NXT
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
in the mid card. So
Yeah.
this is a match of just Claymore after Claymore after Claymore after Claymore,
Yeah.
because there was a lot of Claymores in this match. Drew comes out to a band of people playing bagpipes, and Seth comes out to what somebody described to me as neon futuristic Aztec warrior dancers
That sounds about right to me. Yeah.
performing his theme song. But apparently, this is like some tradition in Philadelphia, like what they were wearing.
Yeah, it's like a
Uh,
New Year's Eve thing, right?
I've
Or New
never
Year's
heard of
Day?
that.
Yeah,
I've heard of the Mardi Gras stuff. I've seen the floats and stuff from that.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
kind of get down with that, but I've never seen this weird Philadelphia New Year's Eve Mardi Gras.
I've never seen it in Rocky or the movie
And
Philadelphia.
yeah, and I've never like you think I would have seen it in like and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You think they
Oh,
would have made fun
yeah,
of it
there
at
you
this
go.
point.
Yeah, yeah,
Why
yeah.
have why have we not had It's Always Sunny Philadelphia on this yet? So um Drew goes for a claymore right as the bell rings, and Drew Seth kicks out. Drew goes for a future shock DDT. Eventually, Seth reverses into a pedigree on the outside, seemingly hurting his knee as he's going down. Seth, though, not really selling too much, I don't think, from the night before. He just kind of has some tape on his back, and that's about it.
Well, the knee was, the point of concern, and, it looks like Drew went straight for it early on, so
Yeah.
we saw the knee be a big factor in the match.
Drew went for a claymore, but Seth catches him, hits Drew with a power bomb, then hits him with a pedigree, followed by a stomp. The entire match, Drew is just taunting Punk, who is outside on commentary. Seth hits Drew with a stomp on the table on the outside. Seth tosses Drew back in the ring, and we have two claymores to Seth Rollins right after Drew pops up after receiving a stomp on the table, which
Was that 10?
again was that
It was
Okay.
like
Oh,
10
10,
10
10
claymores.
Claymore. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got to be around there.
yeah,
But like I said, he gets rolled back in the ring. He pops right back up, hits two Claymores, and pins Seth Rollins to win the World Heavyweight title. And then he goes outside and celebrates with, I guess, his wife or his girlfriend or fiance outside, holding the title, taking pictures. And then he goes and taunts CM Punk again for like a good 2 to 3 minutes. And then apparently CM Punk isn't as injured as we thought
yeah.
and strikes Drew, takes him out. Damian Priest rushes out with his Money in the Bank briefcase, cashes in, hits the South of Heaven on Drew McIntyre, and becomes the new world champion. So, like I said, good on them to put the title on Damian Priest, somebody who's never won it before. So,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens, especially now. I believe Cody is going to be the champion on SmackDown, and Priest will be the champion on
champion
Raw.
on Raw.
So
Yeah, makes sense.
next up, we have the Pride defeating the Final Testament in what was seemingly a nod to Philadelphia's extreme past.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think it really disappointed. I thought this was a pretty damn good hard or not hardcore match, but street fight match. It
Mhm.
was a little weird when AOP just kind of disappeared for like a good 15 minutes of the match, I
Yeah,
felt
what
like.
was that all about? Yeah.
But what did you think of this six-man tag? Do you think it outperformed yesterday's six-man tag match?
It wow, that's a hard question. I wouldn't say outperformed, but I would say it performed up to the capacity of today. Yesterday it was in desperate need of that ladder match, so
Yeah.
it kind of played a very important part in day one. this one did not play an important part in day 2, but was it a better match overall compared
No,
to yesterday? Yes.
I mean
Match for match.
compared to the LWO.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
compared to the LWO, blows it out of the water. Blows it
Yeah.
out of the water.
Well, here's the thing: is I went into this match like kind of having pretty low expectations for this match because I didn't really care. Like Karrion Kross and the Final Testament. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
And then so when the match starts, we are notified. Apparently, Bubba Ray Dudley has been named the special guest referee.
Did they go by Bubba? I didn't. I failed to notice. Did they say Bubba or did they say Bully?
They said Bubba.
Okay.
Bubba Ray Dudley named the special guest referee. Snoop Dogg is doing commentary. Snoop Dogg.
Did I tell you Meek Mill wasn't going to show up? Was I talking to you about that?
That was him in the intro.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the only part that was pre-recorded, but they made it seem to believe that he was going to show up and do like a performance or something.
Right.
Never showed up.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
there's reasons and there's internet reasons for that. Yeah.
Yes. So, like I said, Snoop Dogg doing commentary. He's really good on commentary. Not gonna lie. He's
better
sitting
than
there
Pat McAfee.
He's sitting there like, so you're saying these guys have animosity? So they have the upper hand on them? Like they should be watching out? Okay. Like Snoop is just like, it's like, man, you really know exactly what you're doing. That's awesome. At one point in this match, though, Cross gets in the face of Bubba Ray, and Bubba just puts on his ECW glasses, and they have a stare down. The Pride does the "was up" to Karrion Kross. The Pride then does the get the table spot, and like I think when they said get the tables, everybody in the arena screamed at the top of their lungs. It was probably the loudest I heard the crowd both nights.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know what is it with fucking people and tables.
Well, Philly, you get it, but like in a place like Florida, it's everywhere. But everywhere, everybody pops for tables. I don't know why.
It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
They set Cross up on a table, but it breaks before anyone does anything because it was like it's funny because it breaks right where it's like pre-cut. It like breaks right in the middle. I'm just like,
the legs break and the wood breaks. Oh no.
So they get another table. Montez hits a frog splash to Cross, and Lashley gets the pin and the win.
No harm, no foul.
Match. Yeah, good match. Next up, LA Knight defeating AJ Styles. I mean, I don't know. This is a decent match. I don't know. It wasn't like the best match of the night by any means, but I definitely didn't think it was a horrible match. What did you think?
It was a C. It was satisfactory.
It's like when somebody gives you a tomato sandwich, you're like, "Do you like that tomato sandwich?" You're like, "Well, I don't like it, but I guess
the mayo. Yeah, I guess the mayo was a nice touch, but it needed mustard. Yeah,
you could have added some salt and pepper to it. I don't know.
Where's the meat?
At least it didn't look as bad as their interactions at the WWE World.
Yeah, and don't these guys have experience in TNA doing a program together?
I mean, I don't know if they did.
I have no idea. Yeah.
AJ comes out to brand new music. What did you think of that new song of his?
I like the old one, but this is cool. Yeah. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's a little bit more falls in line with kind of how Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have their music. A little bit more heavy metal, not as heavy as like as Rhea or anything like that.
Yeah, and his other face, you don't want none. That's very. It's very facey, very good guy, very upbeat tempo, and he's supposed to be a bad guy now.
Yeah. AJ springboard to AJ Styles at one point, electric chair to LA Knight into the turnbuckle. LA beats down on AJ on the top turnbuckle, and he continues, and then he starts biting the head of AJ Styles.
Hey, that's not very facey of you.
At least you have 102-degree temperature,
That's true.
Avalanche German suplex to AJ. AJ begins working the knee of LA Knight. Then he goes for a calf crusher after he begins slamming LA Knight's knee into the ring post multiple times. LA then rips the padding off the floor. He goes for a powerbomb, but AJ reverses into a back body drop. AJ then goes for a 450 splash, but LA reverses, gets his knees up. Both men tease their finisher, and then eventually we have the BFT to AJ Styles, the pin and the win. So it's kind of how we expected it. You know, any thoughts on this? Anything you want to add on this match?
Yeah, LA Knight, what's next for him? Probably not much. AJ Styles, he can go anywhere. He can do anything. He's on SmackDown. He could actually start a program with Cody in maybe a couple months.
Yeah. I think that would probably be a good program for the net going forward, is having him and Cody.
Listen, AJ, put over this Knight kid, and I'll give you a shot at Cody.
Especially because we know AJ's probably not going to go over, and we don't want to put somebody up like Gunther against Cody, who Gunther, like, people are going to kind of want him to win.
Oh, I have plans for Gunther.
And also, like, Cody's reign isn't going to be like Roman's reign.
No.
Like Roman Reigns' reign,
We'll be lucky to see him with the title come December.
Honestly, I think, he could lose it at SummerSlam. He could lose it whenever. And I think having him lose it at some random pay-per-view eventually, like coming September or something like that, it would probably be a smart idea, just to kind of, or when Raw goes to Netflix, have it be on the first episode. He can lose the title there. Kind of anything could happen at any time. So
shocking. Yeah, totally.
Then we get the announcement that the King and Queen of the Ring is going to be May 25th. Then we have the Hall of Fame Class of 2024 segment, where they just kind of trot them out, and Paul Heyman came out to his ECW music again, and
dude, this has to be the intermission, because it's the longest break of the night and it's taking forever. I could have taken 2 showers in this time.
Yeah, it's funny too, because the pay-per-view wasn't long at all.
Like,
at all. For one night of WrestleMania, 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Because it was a break, and then you know how they do that thing where non-super ultimate premium subscribers, they get to the background. For those of you guys that only have maybe middle superior premium, you don't get it. You get commercials. So we got double commercials.
Yeah, we get commercials for Papa John's, or not Papa John's, but those pizza muffins.
Dude, that's crazy, right? Only $4 for 4.
$4 for 4. All right, that's City Wrestling Radio. I gotta go. Bye.
That was the whole hook of the commercial too. We gotta go now.
Well, if they want to sponsor our show, I'll definitely plug them here. So, next up, Logan Paul defeating Kevin Owens and RKO. That's Randall Keith Orton, to retain his United States title. What did you think of this match, Jose? And who do you think is going to be the one to eventually dethrone Logan Paul?
Okay. Few things. Number one, we've seen this match before. We've seen this match every time when it comes to Logan Paul. Guy in a suit helps out, brass knucks.
And it's always somebody that we have no idea who it is.
Yeah,
and
I show Speed. Who the hell's I show Speed? My kids popped. They were like, "Oh look, it's Speed! It's I show Speed." I'm like, "Who is this? Who is this?" Oh man, well, get off my lawn.
It's like that. Do you remember that thing from Family Guy where they're like, "Welcome back to the Kids' Choice Awards Nickelodeon with Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande," and then they start just like randomly making up names to like make everyone think they're getting older. And because I literally was like, "Wait, I don't know that I don't know who is that? Who is that?" And they were like, "Oh, by the way, those are all fake." But it kind of felt like that, because I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I show Speed. And before it was KSI. I don't know who he is. I know I'm old. But
streamers. I mean, I would much rather watch an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm instead of watching YouTube shorts all day. So who is going to dethrone Paul? I have a perfect person. A returning face, Gunther.
You think so?
He'll take a little break, very small, maybe a month, maybe 2, just enough to make people forget about him, and then he'll make a surprise appearance on SmackDown after he, goes through this whole thing with what's this crew called? Imperium after he separates with those Imperium nerds, and he'll show up on SmackDown, and he's ripe for the pickings for the fans. The fans want to cheer him. I want to cheer him.
Yeah.
Perfect opportunities to put him up against Logan Paul, and he takes the title away from him.
I mean, I do think eventually it's going to be LA Knight to dethrone, but to add to your Gunther fantasy booking, I will double down on this and say only if Gunther wins the US title, but then like fully lays into the American stereotype. Like I want to see him wearing a cowboy hat with a cowboy shirt tucked into his pants. I want to see him doing like trying to do like doing a fake American accent, going to Coney Island on 4th of July, like writing, like doing rodeo stuff, just whatever else Americans we do that is obnoxious. I want to see him do it.
Oh yeah, but he lost all that weight. He lost all that weight. You don't want him gaining it back.
He could work out harder. I'm sure he's fine. He doesn't have to like eat the hot dogs. Just go to the thing, and just be like, the smell of hot dogs and dipped in water in the morning makes,
deep fried Snickers. Delicious.
Exactly. So I want to see all of that. Kind of similar to like when in that movie Borat, but it's Gunther. With like a red, white, and blue, like with the like red, white, and blue ruffle shirt, like basically the shirt Lex Luger had on at one point walking into Nitro, but I want it red, white, and blue.
We're pushing Vince territory now. Okay, so back to the match. The match.
Like I said, despite the stupid interference by someone who I have no idea who was, it was a good match, especially with the spots with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Eventually, so to start this match, I love how Kevin Owens comes out. He comes out in a golf cart,
mocking that monster truck, that
Logan
stupid drink.
The Prime. I love what's his name? Pat McAfee goes, "Oh my god, that's the biggest truck I've ever seen." They're like, "It's the biggest bottle we've ever seen." He's like, "Yeah, that's what I think I meant."
You're the biggest douchebag I've ever seen. God.
So Kevin Owens comes out on a golf cart, and then he's at like the beginning of the ring, and then out comes Randy Orton, who starts to come out, and Kevin Owens reverses the golf cart all the way back up the ramp to pick up Randy Orton. And then they drive back down, and Randy, you could tell because he leans over at one point and goes, "Hey, slow down," because he's going way too fast.
Yes, he is. Oh my god, he went faster than when he was by himself.
And I thought that was pretty great because you could tell Randy's trying to like brace the stop.
Yeah, he leaned into it. Yeah.
But this is mostly a standard WWE 3-way match, one person on one versus one-on-one, but they did have KO and Randy Orton focusing on Logan Paul most of the match. Anytime Logan would try to get them to fight each other at the beginning, they wouldn't. They would just keep going after Logan. But the two eventually broke down and started fighting each other. Logan does hit a nice swanton into a standing frog splash in this match to both men. Back and forth uppercuts between Logan and Randy. Logan Paul tried to go for a buckshot lariat. Almost seemed like his leg buckled underneath him. Randy caught him and hit a power slam to Logan Paul. Double guillotine DDT to both Logan Paul and KO. At one point, Logan pulls out some brass knucks.
Of course.
Eventually knocks out Randy Orton with the knucks. Owens gets the shot with the brass knucks too. Logan Paul then picks up Randy Orton to go for another brass knuck shot, but Randy hits the RKO out of nowhere. And then Randy just like, he has the brass knuckles, but he gives them to the referee because he's such a good guy now.
Yeah.
Like, Randy, you're Randy Orton. Come on, man. Like, that's not Randy Orton. That's not the Randy Orton I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Then, like I said, the person in the Prime bottle pulls Logan Paul out of the ring. We're supposed to know who this is, but what was his name? SHO Speed. SHO Speed. Okay. Okie dokie. Kevin then goes for a pop-up power bomb. Randy Orton, but Randy Orton hits Kevin with an RKO. Logan eventually ends up throwing Randy out of the ring, hitting a frog splash to KO, the pin and the win. So he retained.
A little message to WWE loyalists that complain about AEW and how everybody kicks out from finishers. Everybody kicks out from finishers. Tonight, this Mania, it was kick out from finisher central. It happened almost every match. So you might want to pump the brakes next time you criticize something, bro.
Well, it was the 10 Claymores to start the show too,
Exactly. Oh, and the curb stomps. But I mean, the curb stomps you can forgive because he was giving them on a bum knee.
The pedigrees,
he landed on a bum knee. That makes sense. I'll let that slide. I'll let personally, I let it all slide because I love a good kick out after a finisher. Always have.
Yeah.
But some people they just, they figure they want to make an argument against AEW. So they use this as fodder. So just so you guys know, it happens here too. And it happened a lot here at Mania.
Yeah. All in all, though, a good match between the three men. See what happens with both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens going forward. So, yeah. Next up, Bayley defeating Io Sky to become the new WWE Women's Champion. I mean, hey, this is a decent match, I thought,
I thought it was damn good. I thought it was a damn good match.
You thought it was a good match?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match, except for the beginning. Io Sky, I keep wanting to say Shirai. Io Sky, she came off a bit nervous, first time on a big stage like this, especially defending the title, knowing she had to show out. Bayley, took control of the situation. She was the ring general in every sense of the word. Yeah. And, she helped bring Io down, and they had a great match right after that.
Yeah, the one thing I did notice is Bayley just seemed a little bit like she was really over with the crowd, and the Bay Area got a lot of shout outs in this match, which I thought was kind of weird. Yeah. Like a lot of shout outs. Like they were mentioning parks in like the middle of San Jose. I was like, what?
Like, well, because it's Egyptian themed. That's why she came up with this idea. Is that
okay? That's what they're saying. So Bayley had an Egyptian themed entrance, and Corey Graves says, "Oh, it's because Bayley grew up near a park in San Jose that was like Egyptian themed." And then eventually he names it. I'd never seen the park, but what I thought it was at first, because there was like a Mania years ago where Triple H came out. And he had a bunch of the women from NXT like holding the throne as he was coming out.
I don't know if Bayley was there, but it was definitely Sasha.
I know Sasha and Charlotte. For sure. Yeah,
Alexa Bliss was there too, and Charlotte. Yeah.
So I thought it was a kind of a nod to that, but we'll see.
Two things could be true.
Yeah. There was a nice twisting side slam to Io Sky. Sunset flipped Io Sky into the turnbuckle. Io rolls through for a German suplex to Bayley. Bayley climbs up to the top rope and then misses with an elbow as Io catches her to lock in a crossface. We finally see a Bayley to belly, the returning Bayley to belly, a move we haven't seen in a long time.
I marked that for that. Yep.
To Io. Double underhook, backbreaker to Bayley. Io hits Bayley with a big moonsault, but Bayley kicks out, leading to Io hitting a series of salts.
Really cool.
Off the ropes. But she does miss the third one. Sky then gets hit with the rope, or sorry, she misses, or sorry, reverses
the rope plan. Yeah, it looked really good.
Back suplex to Sky. Bayley then gets on the top rope, hits the elbow drop, rose plant, and the pin and the win. And Bayley becomes your new champion. So,
Bayley, do you want to be my girl?
So, I mean, it's cool to see. I was kind of hoping she would lean back more into her face character. Her character right now is like still kind of heelish. Like even in the press conference afterwards, she's like, I didn't know if the fans would like still like me for calling them idiots. Like some of they are idiots sometimes, but I'm an idiot too, so it's all good.
We're all idiots, yeah.
I was like, okay, Bayley, sure, you got it. Like,
But
I don't know.
dude, I was holding out hope that we see the funny inflatable guys come out just one more time, for Mania, but it
I
didn't
was
happen.
hoping, yeah, I was hoping that she would come out to her theme song and then she would say like no, and then go back and they would play her old theme song, and
Yeah,
the two men would go up and everyone would have had fun. But no,
yeah,
I guess Bailey has completely moved on from that character 1000%.
yeah. And you know what? There's something to be said about Bailey winning. It kind of brings it doubt going into this next match because you're thinking, okay, well, we just had a really feel good moment and title change. We've seen title change after title change after title change. It's looking grim for Cody. If they're doing this much, he might not win this. He might not get the title.
There was
We
a
might
yeah,
not get feel good.
there was a lot of one title change twice. You
Yes,
know,
yes, yes.
so I mean, going into the main event, Cody Rhodes defeating Roman Reigns to become the WWE champion. So the story of this match, I mean, was just the bloodline rules situation, which I don't know. I felt like they could have done more with this, like they're just like it's no DQ, no
Mhm.
count out,
Yeah,
whatever. Like the match last night felt like it had more of like a special stipulation with The Rock being like, I'm on the board, I can do whatever I want, rather than this that was just like, oh, no DQ.
yeah, yeah. Okay, but imagine if they did the whole thing all over again. Then you're just saying, "Ah, we saw this last night. Do we really need to see this again?" I actually thought
Well,
that the match reached a really good balance between actual wrestling, not too much DQ stuff. Not that okay. The run-ins they were put in a perfect slot and not overdone. Like people weren't just wrestling or fighting each other for 30 minutes inside the ring alongside Cody and Roman, right?
I felt
So
like this was an overbooked, like just seriously overbooked. But anyways,
it was
go
it
on.
was it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Avengers versus Thanos. It was supposed to be, um, you know, uh,
Endgame.
yeah, Clash of the Clans.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they took more of a subtle approach with it, especially having it the majority one on one,
Yeah.
Roman and Cody. I think that's what made it. That's what balanced it out in a good way.
Yeah. So in this match, they had a lot of back and forth. I could read my notes, but I'm just gonna go off my memory.
There you go.
Um, so what happened was eventually there was one point where Rhodes goes for multiple crossroads to let's talk about his entrance first. He came out to the
Oh,
ring
okay.
with
Mhm.
the skull,
Really cool.
like the American Nightmare skull. That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it's his tattoo. Mhm.
Brandy Rhodes made an appearance to
I
get the
popped.
skull. That
Yeah.
was
Oh,
cool.
yeah. I told the wife, look, there goes Brandy. She's like, oh, I love her.
Roman comes out being played by like the public schools orchestra.
Mhm.
I they were okay, I guess.
Oh, cool, I guess. Yeah, good touch, I guess, supporting
Yeah,
the local youth.
there you go. So eventually at one point, Cody Rhodes goes for he's trying to go for the three amigo kind of crossroads situation,
Mhm.
but he hits one crossroads, he goes for a second one, he gets super kicked by Jimmy Uso. And that was another thing. Like when we were explained what bloodline rules were, like Rock was like, "Hey, Jimmy could be the special guest referee. We could have this. We could have a special guest timekeeper." And didn't do any of that. So
Yeah, it's because he said all that on the spot.
yeah.
They didn't plan that out very very well.
And so they're beating down on Cody. Then Jay Uso's music hits. He comes out. Jay and Jimmy battle on the ramp. Jay spears Jimmy off the ramp into a padded area, gimmicked area. Then eventually, it's kind of the same spot. Cody goes for the double crossroads again. He's going for that or the third one, and then Solo Sikoa comes out and gives him the dreaded Samoan thumb. And he kicks out though, and then Roman hits the spear spike combo from him and Solo. Kicks out yet again. John Cena makes his return. Comes out to
Cool.
beat Solo. He comes out. He hits also Roman with an AA.
Mhm.
Which is like, all right, cool. Like thanks, Cena. And then he's beating down on Solo. That's when The Rock comes down, literally lays John Cena out like that. John
Mhm.
Cena, like he lost all of his power. I feel like he gets his ass kicked all the time now.
All the time, yeah.
So he gets laid out with a rock bottom, and then we hear the dong, lights go out.
That was a
Undertaker
surprise.
appears. It was a surprise, yes. Then he choke slams the Rock, gets him out of there. Lights go out again, and then Undertaker and the Rock are just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, then eventually we have Cody hitting his 3 crossroads to Roman Reigns and pinning him and beating him to become the new undisputed champion.
Hooray!
So, yeah, I mean, good for him. It was kind of like one of those things like, oh, thank God. Whew.
Yeah.
Because when they count that 3, people were like, oh my God, it happened. It happened.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Whew. Let's move on now. Because it's kind of like, it was overbooked to hell, but like, it's kind of what we all needed that, we all needed a fun ride just to get where we should have been a year ago.
Yeah, totally.
And the fact that he was taken away from him a year ago and he gets his moment now, that's pretty cool. So
it did overrun a little bit for me. At the end, there was too much celebration. They could have, sent it to credits way before that. There was just too much too many handshakes. What was CM Punk doing up there, seeking limelight? Nobody likes you, bro.
People like him. Well, I saw him in the comment. People like him in the comments, Jose.
Okay. My bad, you guys. My bad.
No, it's fine. You say what you want, but
yeah, we'll see what happens Wednesday.
Oh, we will. Yeah, no. So overall, like, I'm hearing people thinking, like, saying this is like the best WrestleMania ever. Do you think so?
I don't. It depends what happens after this. If this is indeed a page-turning WrestleMania where we're going to get the Renaissance, if we're going to get something that's, pop culture changing after this, then yes, it is there. But if we get SOP, standard operating procedures, after this, then no, it's just a really good WrestleMania. It's not the best. It's the biggest, definitely the biggest.
Yeah. So what do you expect going into the Raw after Mania?
You know what? I don't want to expect anything. I want to go there with a clean slate. I hope they're doing the same. I'm expecting maybe a little bit of a power struggle between Rhea and Priest.
Okay.
I'm expecting the Bloodline story to take a little bit of a break, maybe a week or two before we see Roman come back to major pop.
I heard Roman's taking like legit, like real time off.
Yeah, well, and according to the presser, and according to Paul Levesque, what we're gonna see with Roman Reigns is gonna be really amazing and really. What do you use to describe it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's supposedly it's gonna be something nobody expects and life changing to all of us for some reason.
Well, here's one thing: is I've been hearing murmurs of Jacob Fatu possibly signing with WWE.
Yeah, I heard that that's like weeks done. Like it's been done already for a while.
Like he's apparently sticking around in Philadelphia despite being pulled from a GCW show. So, I mean, maybe he'll show up tomorrow night on Raw.
Yeah, one can only hope.
Maybe we'll come out. Maybe we'll see The Rock come out with Jimmy Uso and Solo without Roman, and he'll introduce maybe some new members of the Bloodline. Maybe, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu.
That would be actually kind of cool. Like my cousin's away, Rock saying Roman's away. He couldn't get the job done, so I'm running the Bloodline now. It's mine. I'm the new, head of the class, head of the table.
Head of the table, yeah.
Head of the table.
I'm the head of the class, Roman. Gives the
with your dunce cap. Yeah. And he puts together his own Bloodline. That'd be cool.
So we'll see what happens after Raw. Anything else you want to add about WrestleMania?
WrestleMania was fun. I had a good time. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Paul Triple H Levesque. I appreciate it. That was one thing too. They kept talking about Triple H.
Why they bring up Bruce Pritchard?
Yeah.
Well, why? Nobody cares about Brother Love.
We completely skipped over Stephanie McMahon at the beginning.
Oh yes. Well, I kind of touched on it a little bit. Made fun of her.
That was pretty shocking to see her come out.
Yeah.
All right. let's get out of here.
Yes.
Until next time, we will be here after. Well, we'll do another show this week talking about the Raw after Mania.
Yeah,
So
Mania Fallout.
for City
Sorry.
Wrestling Radio, I'm Corey Smith.
I am long-winded.
And we will see you next time. Take care. Have a wonderful day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.